Well, I don't know what to say. So
I was down at the event Friday night where Rob was. I met up with Jason. I witnessed all sorts of the forces, police forces, military forces. I witnessed them attacking peaceful, innocent bystanders who were just watching what was going on.
Yeah, they came onto the university, and the news reported went into dorms looking for people.
Yes.
Because, see, the cops discovered they would go down empty streets, L-ratting little kids in their front yard. We have photos and videos. So they would think, where can we find people in Pittsburgh out at night? The university. And
yes,
go ahead.
They were chasing people back into the neighborhood and back across the dorms. And as they came across the dorms, they were still firing tear gas. I stood directly next to two students who were shot with beanbag rounds. It was the most fascist, horrible thing I've ever seen.
Well, I've told you, they will put us in pits and put lead into us. Many of these people have ordered. They want to. To them, it's a macho hunting. They've taken their regular hunting instincts, their predator instincts, and place it onto their fellow humans. That's what unjust war is. It's a war of aggression. It is preemptive war against the people. They know the banks are going to steal everything, and they know we're going to resist, and so they're trying to intimidate us. Well, as soon as Cindy gets out, we'd like to have her on this week with us. Fire out the website for folks that want to try to give Cindy some support.
Cindy Sheehan's soapbox.com is her website. Also, Alex, I'd like to say that Cindy has just announced the International People's Declaration of Peace, which she just read in front of the White House.
And got arrested for.
Correct.
And again, don't have the neighbor kids over with your kids. You're not allowed to without a government license. And don't have a garage sale or you'll get arrested. Don't sell eggs on a street corner, you get arrested. And but if you're a foreign illegal mercenary, 14-time felon, you're good. It's the criminal's world. We'll be right back with your calls.
Have you ever...
The GCN Radio Network.
Okay, here's the deal. I want to talk about the police state takeover. I want to talk more about Hardin, Montana. I want to get into the new stimulus plan. Incredible news on the flu front. I'm going to cover that first. But after I take a bunch of calls. Now, these calls are going to be great. They're always great. Some are duds, but most of them are really good. So when we take calls, there's always a lot of great ones in there, to be technical. That's what I meant to say. But just have your point, your question ready so I can get to the next person. I know you've been holding a while. As you hear a caller hang up, that's your chance to get involved on air. We'd love to hear from you. 1-800-259-9231. Let's talk to Gary in Mass. Gary, thanks for holding her on the air.
Thanks, Alex. I really appreciate it. Wanted to chat with you about the flu and Codex Alimentarius, if you have a minute for that.
Sure.
Okay, a couple things. If you go to flu.gov, the government talks about the seasonal flu vaccine being separate from H1N1 flu vaccines. And yet, we're finding that at public schools across America this week, principals are being recommended to tell all the parents to send their kids in and sign that form, and don't worry, there's no H1N1 in the normal flu shot. And yet, when I go to FDA.gov and I look at every single flu manufacturer's product for normal flu shots, Flumis, Fluzone, Fluvarix, Fluvarin, they're all containing not only the squalene that we've been talking about, they all contain H1N1, H3N2, and something else. I
think Paul Watson and Kurt Nemos have done reports on this. If they haven't, they need to. But yes, that is confirmed. That's why Horowitz flipped out. Was he noticed a month ago that they were saying their regular flu shot was going to have H1N1. How did they know this a year ago when this hadn't even come up on the radar? Then they lie and say, don't worry, it doesn't have it. Then they're also lying, saying it's mandatory when you don't have to take the flu shot to go to school. So, even if you're for vaccination, why are you for you and your kids being lied to? And, yeah, the squalene's at least 5 times regular levels, super deadly, adjuvant. All these top scientists and medical doctors we've had on saying that's what's frying out the brain, neurological disorders. It just goes on and on. And, yeah, I'm going to get into flu later. It's just so amazing to actually see this happening. And to then hear them lying and saying there's no such thing as adverse reactions, then the CDC says, no, there's going to be a lot of adverse reactions, including deaths. I mean, it's just... But the public is gullible. I mean, I watch the public at bus stops and at grocery stores, And it's like they're willfully, they just look so stupid. And it's like self-induced. And I don't have some elitist view of myself, but I have become a sardonic person. Not in that I think I'm high and mighty. See, the elitists see all these dumb people and just want to kill them, and then try to dumb them down further. They're trying to make them stupid and dumb and mindless. I look at the public and it's like, dear God, they're like monkeys or something. I mean, a monkey's less trusting than they are. At least animals have got a little common sense, and they're just so trusting. Anything else, Gary?
Yeah, a couple quick things. So one other point on flu and then on Codex Alimentarius. On the flu mist, which now that after I had a little dialogue
that was my
with
next big point. I'm watching Fox today, and I already knew this, but see if this is what you're about to say. I'm watching Fox on the treadmill, and they admit what doctors said 2 months ago here, that it's a live H1N1 that's, quote, been weakened, but they said live in the flu mist. They had the doctor on there, and that if you have an autoimmune problem, don't take it, and that it's for people 2 to 45, and that's the only one they have available, and it's like the Cabbage Patch doll. Everybody wants to have it, and that it can actually spread the flu. So just what all the doctors said on the show, they're going to use a live nasal system to give people the flu. Then it's going to make a bunch of people sick. They're preconditioning that it won't make you sick. Then they're going to spread it. I mean, they are engaging in a false flag right in front of us. Go ahead.
Alex, it feels like we're in a cartoon from like Marvel or DC Comics. And you know what? We need more people like you as Iron Men to stop these folks. They are definitely spreading H1N1 through the flu mist. It's unbelievable. Now, one quick thing on Codex Alimentarius. December 31st this year is when it starts to take effect. Now, if you want to defend yourself against the flu, we've heard from these folks that, fish oil is good, vitamin D is good, vitamin C is good. I've heard that in some studies, people have lived longer. When you and I hit 40, we should have a good life. The other 40 years should be just as good as the first 40. But because of eugenics, they want to end it sooner and make it really painful and difficult for all of us.
Yeah, no, that's the stated plan. The White House says so, right here.
So listen to this. Alex, vitamin C, they say vitamin C is a really great vitamin to defend against it, as well as D in fish oil. Well, vitamin C, the doctors who've done the studies, and you can Google the studies or search engine the studies, you need 3,000 to 4,000 milligrams of vitamin C a day. What is the U.S. recommended daily allowance? About 85. How much are you going to be able to get after Codex Alimentarius is in place? 0.
I know. I appreciate your call. The public just doesn't. Listen, they're already having SWAT team raids on aloe vera facilities, saying it now can get you high. And in Europe, some areas of Europe, they're pushing to have raids on it. Again, the main thing the establishment has over us is the over-the-topness of this. And that I understand as normal people who are awake, you don't want to be around this. You don't want to focus on it. You want to just stay to yourself, try to raise your kids right. You can't do that. And I understand how you want to pull your head down and not fight the tyranny. Because I do it sometimes. I catch myself. Like I said, Saturday morning, I'd just been fighting tyranny for 3 days in Hardin, Montana. I went downstairs at like 7 a.m., 7:30 to get Starbucks coffee down the street. I'm coming back up the elevator. It opens on the 3rd floor, and there's Girl Scouts milling around with police. So I step out, and there's a Homeland Security banner and cops like it was the airport looking at everybody and all a bunch of paranoid, power-tripping people. And I literally didn't panic. I repulsed from it. Like a turtle going in my shell, I was hitting buttons and getting back on. And I keep telling that story because then as we're walking out of the hotel 30 minutes later to go catch our flight, I said, by the way, I didn't tell you guys, on the 3rd floor, there's a Homeland Security convention with Girl Scouts. The entire 3rd floor is full of them. There's some kind of Homeland Security meeting. And we know from the news that their new badge from Homeland Security is to spy on their neighbors, fight terror, put out the good word of Homeland Security. These are quotes, 3.4 million. And Aaron's like, grabbed him by the arm. He goes, let's go. And I said, no, we got an hour and a half to get to the airport. Our plane's in an hour and a half. And thank God we were in the checkpoint for 30 minutes with them searching us and going over every tape and bugging their eyes out. Just Nazi little pig-nosed bastards. I mean, they'd gut you in a minute. They'd hang you up by your heels in a minute. I mean, they were crazed women stalking and asking old ladies. And like a woman, you've got mascara. That's illegal, which, by the way, even under their rules, it's not. And the woman, I'm so sorry, please don't arrest me. And evil women going, just feeding off of it. And I was like, I mean, folks, I can't handle it. Elevator doors open and there's Homeland Security with little kids, and then I got to go to the airport and deal with weird pig women. And I mean, they look, I mean, folks, I can't handle it.